All right, hello and welcome back. Today we are doing a recipe that has started many a fight at the Thanksgiving table. Now, I know maybe not your household, but I have heard of people. They're either team whole berry or team sauce, goo, congealed. I don't know. They either want it canned with the little whole berries in it or canned where it is absolutely smooth. I happen to be whole berry side, okay? That's my vote. So today I'm gonna show you how to make your own, and I'm gonna show you how to do it in a very low carb way. All right, stick around. This is the Roxo Test Kitchen, and this entire month we are working on Thanksgiving swaps to help you take some of the carbs out of your main meal so you can save them for dessert. Shh, don't tell anyone I said that, because that's what we're doing. All right, let's get this aside. You can use any of the whole cranberries that you want, any brand. We're using 12 ounces of that. We'll use a cup of a low carb sugar. I'm using monk fruit sweetener, and then 1 cup of water. Alrighty, I'm gonna start by mixing my sugar and my water. Get this turned on. Okay, we got that. It's a really easy one. Okay, just like that. You can use whatever low carb sweetener that you prefer. If you like stevia, make sure it's stevia in the way that you would use it 1-for-1 for baking. So they add a couple fillers to that just for volume. I happen to like the monk fruit a bit better, but I'm open to other kinds. As I try them out, I decide, yeah, I like them, or me, don't like them. And I encourage you to do the same. Okay, so there's that. We're going to put in our cranberries. There you go, guys. Perfect. Okay, give that a good whirl. And then we're going to do our zest. Okay, so as you'll see now, I'm going to be listening out for little pops. And it's those skins popping, and that's how you know that you've got the right temperature. And then you want to cook it until most of those skins are popped so that you can kind of give it a little smushy down so that that cranberry sauce can be just so perfect. All right, so now we're going to do a zest of our orange. Let me find a plate. Big words tonight, big words. Here we go. Okay, so we have one of these fancy little devices, but you can use one of the bigger stand-up shredder things. Let's use the side ones. You can find all sorts of other ways of doing this without having to buy a fancy one, but man, the fancy really helps. So I like a lot of orange zest in mine, so I'm gonna give myself a good liberal amount of this. You see how it stays nice in there? Okay. Now the nice thing about doing it this way is you can still use this orange for decor or in other things that you might be making for your Thanksgiving. You can also just give it to your kids. They might like that. You can make some orange juice out of it, whatever you so prefer. Put that in there, and then I'm gonna have a little fresh fir at the top just to make sure everybody knows there's some good orange zest in there. All right, so I'm just going to keep an ear out for it to start boiling, and then these guys will start popping away. All right, so getting to think about the garnish, we're going to grab some rosemary out of the garden, and then I'm going to slice this up so this can be real pretty when we're serving it up. Okay, keep that aside, and then we will definitely juice this into something. Oop. It's kind of like when you hear the popcorn in the microwave, which I guess apparently microwave popcorn's not all that healthy, but if you are eating popcorn or you remember back and you hear that first pop and then they all start popping, that's exactly what this does. Okay, you can hear all those pops happening. You just want to stir it every so often. All right, we got some good boilage and good poppage going on here. So now I'm going to turn that down. Just let it keep thickening up. You don't need to add a thickener. This will thicken nicely on its own, especially as it cools down. What I'll sometimes do is just kind of come up against the edges, make sure everybody's properly popped, and then let it start to cool down. Not a lot of pressure, because you don't want to just pulverize the darn things. You just want to let them get that bit of a pop. All right, God, smells really, really good. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside, and then we'll be back once that cools off nicely. All right, so now that we've got that off of the heat, we're going to do half a teaspoon of vanilla, fresh vanilla, so that will just add to the aroma. And then we'll let that continue to cool down. Okay, stir that up. Okay, you see that it's still steaming quite a bit, so we want to cool that down for multiple reasons. Number one, my mouth, I want to taste it. And number two, before we transfer that into another container to then put into the fridge, since we're doing this ahead of time, we want to allow that to cool down so that we don't shock it or have that glass container have a problem. All right, so we allowed that to cool real nice. I added a little bit more of our orange zest. Still a bit hot, so I'm going to just put this aside. And I'm going to taste it out of a slightly more cold version. Perfect size for this serving bowl. And this will continue to thicken as it cools down. All right. But I want to sit around here waiting for the darn thing to cool down completely so we can wrap this up. Made a little bit of extra zest here. Make that for pretty. Okay, I thought it'd be just really nice with a little bit of rosemary and then a pretty orange slice on top. All right. Put a little bit aside so I can taste it. It's got a nice gel to it now. So even if you are team gel or your team whole berry, you can kind of enjoy this just as easily. All right. I love it. It's sweet enough, but it's definitely got that cranberry tang. If you like it sweeter, you can just add a little more of the monk fruit. All right, until next time, take good care of yourself and each other. Bye for now.